small confined spot, like yo, you will get claustrophobic sitting in this. Like, what if somebody steps and they're big too? Like, imagine somebody
Pro
big
Hunter.
stepped on there. Yo, you're cooked. So it's called $10,000 hide and seek in an abandoned courthouse.
But with $10,000 on the line. If you manage to stay hidden for just 1 hour, you win the money. In this video, 6 elite players are hiding inside this abandoned courthouse. The rules are simple. Each player gets 3 full days to study the building and build their hiding spot. Then, on the final day, they all hide at the same time. After the hunter enters the building, whoever stays hidden for 1 full hour wins the cash. Some players made absolute 200
I ain't gonna lie, this look comp. This look like a comp video.
IQ decisions, while others basically beg to get found. So let's break down each hiding spot. Alex found this room with a huge cabinet, but what he actually built is one of the smartest illusions in the entire game. Originally, this cabinet had 2 compartments, one at the bottom and another at the very top, right under the original ceiling. So Alex did something insane. He actually lowered the entire ceiling of the room by about 3 feet, creating a new ceiling line below the cabinet. Once the ceiling was lowered, the original upper compartment became completely invisible, hidden above the new ceiling. From the hunter's perspective, the cabinet now looks like it has only 1 compartment. Nothing seems modified, but Alex isn't hiding in the visible section. He crawls into the original upper compartment, sitting completely above the fake ceiling, inside a space the hunter doesn't even know exists. The whole point of this
Whole time I thought he was sitting in a cabinet. He's going above the cabinet. Oh my god.
hiding spot was that even if the hunter entered the room and inspected everything, he wouldn't notice a single thing, and he'd just walk away. But will this genius trick be enough to fool the hunter once the search begins? Sam decides to be lazy and not build any hiding spot at all. Instead, he chooses to hide right above the main entrance of the building, literally under the hunter's nose. According to the rules, this upper platform is connected to the main structure, so it is a legal place to hide. He brings nothing except a small mat to lie on. He climbs up into the hiding spot and he simply slides the access panel back into place.
Oh my god, yo, these are crazy spots. Gang, these are crazy spots.
His whole idea was that the hunter would never even think to look up there and would just walk straight into the building without checking anything. This spot is actually perfect, but it has one small downside, which we'll examine a little later. Max gets a genius idea. He noticed in previous episodes that the production team always sets up a control room somewhere inside the building and the hunter never goes in there. So Max decides to build his own fake production room. He brings fake staff, fake equipment, and he recreates the entire space to look exactly like a real production area with TV cameras, food, and all kinds of props. Max himself chooses to hide under a table in the back
If only I could think of this when I was 8. Yo, you had to like build this stuff, don't you think?
of the room. The table wasn't covered by anything from behind, but his whole idea was simple. If the hunter walks by and sees a production room, he won't enter at all. He'll just keep moving without checking the room. This is a brilliant plan, but Max overlooked one small mistake. Jack discovers a room full of decorative elements, the ceiling, the chandelier, and several objects with gold accents. While exploring, he notices a small door that leads into an abandoned cabinet, and he decides this will be his hiding spot. But before hiding, he brings in a renovation team to disguise the entire area. Using the ceiling and gold decorations as reference, Jack and the team repaint the walls to match the exact same color and add the same gold
A hidden door? Oh my god, yo, a hidden
details, so everything blends perfectly. Then they hide the door behind a decorative gold panel shaped like a square, and from a distance, it looks flawless. But there's one small problem. They rushed a little, and the gold square covering the door doesn't line up perfectly with the other squares on the wall. If the hunter pays close attention, he might notice the slight misalignment, and that could expose Jack's hiding spot immediately. Chris discovers a waiting room filled with a bunch of chairs. While exploring, he notices a small door that leads into another area with 3 connected rooms. He immediately decides this will be his hiding spot. To disguise the entrance, he covers the entire door with drywall, leaving a small hole at the bottom just big enough for him to crawl through. After that, he moves several chairs right in front of the wall to hide any sign that someone could be hiding there, and his logic is actually genius.
What is it? I think to hide in an insane spot like
phone and headphones, or get a PS5 up the.
Oh yeah, like you need like some music or something. Like you got to sit in here for an hour. By the way, they got to do this for an hour. So like, yeah.
Even if the hunter somehow discovers the hidden door, he won't be able to crawl through the hole because of his size. All Chris has to do is slip inside, cover the hole from behind, lower the seat of a chair, and just stay quiet. But even though the idea is brilliant, he made one small mistake, which we're going to talk about later. Tony is by far the most ingenious and hardworking player. He decides to spend a huge amount of time building an entire custom staircase right at the entrance of the courtyard, and he plans to hide inside the staircase itself. Tony had noticed in previous episodes,
stuff like this, like yo, like
did they all make one small mistake?
He plans to hide inside the staircase itself. Tony had
because whoever the hunter is, apparently they caught some of these mugs. they caught some of these people, which is crazy. Nah, look at this
staircase right at the entrance of the courtyard, and he plans.
That's a small confined spot. Like, yo, you will get claustrophobic sitting in this. Like, what if somebody steps and they're big too? Like, imagine somebody
Pro
big
Hunter.
stepped on there. What if somebody big stepped on that? Yo, you're cooked. Like, it just cooked.
The first guy gonna win BC, the
To
guy
hide
talking
inside
didn't
the
say he had a
staircase
small
itself.
mistake.
Tony had noticed in previous episodes that the
Imagine
hunter
he
always
become a
knocks
dad
on
and
walls
play hide and
objects
seek
to
with his
check if
kids.
anything sounds hollow, so he takes that into consideration. He builds the staircase out of marble and adds soundproof insulation inside. His whole idea was simple but smart. Even if the hunter knocks on the steps, he won't hear
Hi.
anything suspicious because the wall of the staircase is thick and solid and gives no hollow sound at all. Tony believed that if everything sounded normal, the hunter would just move on and never suspect a thing. But the real question
Mod, I
is,
love
will
you.
the hunter be skilled enough to find all the players? Let's find out. The hunter starts the timer and begins
Ashy,
to search,
believe
but as he
me.
gets close to the entrance, Sam already has
Love you
his
too,
first
man.
problem. The spot where Sam is hiding has all these decorative metal patterns with holes and openings in
How?
the design, and that means whenever light hits it from the outside, you can see straight through into the hiding spot. And because it's nighttime, every time a car passes, its headlights shine directly into Sam's hiding space through those decorative openings. And there's a very real chance the hunter could just look up
Ashy,
for a
time me
second
out
and
for
spot
being
Sam
gay.
instantly. The hunter walks up to the entrance. Sam is literally 3 feet above him, completely frozen, but the hunter doesn't even think
Don't
about
time him
checking
out.
that
Don't
place,
listen to
and he
that.
walks
Don't
straight
listen.
inside the building, which gives Sam a huge relief.
You said the
because once
N-word
the hunter
hard
enters
R.
the building, there's a
say
very high
hard
R.
chance
Not
he won't
BCU
come
gay.
back out to inspect the entrance again. The hunter
No, I
starts
didn't.
examining the room and begins knocking
No,
on the
we're
walls
lying.
and objects. He does this because he's checking for
I
hollow
actually
spaces, since he knows the players
say
might
it.
build
None.
entire fake structures to hide inside. He
So who
also
lying?
inspects every statue carefully, because in a previous episode, someone actually hid inside a statue. Meanwhile, Tony is hiding directly beneath him, frozen in complete silence. But Tony is already facing his first real problem. The space inside the staircase has
But
very
I'm not
little
gay.
air, and it's getting harder and harder for him to breathe. The hunter doesn't
But-
notice anything strange, and Tony's plan is still working perfectly. But right before leaving the
can't
room, the
breathe?
hunter notices something weird on the floor. Tony
At
is
mod
one step from
_
being
3
discovered,
buck.
but it seems there's nothing suspicious
Ashy, a
after all,
hater.
and he continues examining the rest of the building.
After
Oh,
checking a bunch of
wow.
rooms and possible hiding spots,
Ashy
the hunter
lying.
approaches the hallway where Chris is hiding. He looks around carefully but doesn't notice anything, so he keeps moving forward. And this is where he reaches the room with the fake production team, the room where Max is hiding. The hunter walks inside and he doesn't even realize the team is fake, and he actually apologizes for entering the room. But still, he doesn't leave. He decides to examine the place anyway. Max's hiding spot is honestly the weakest in the entire competition because he's just
This is the worst hiding spot out of all of them.
hiding under a table with no cover at all, and he can be spotted instantly if the hunter looks beneath it. After the hunter
GG.
talks with the team for a moment, his eyes
It's
lock
over.
onto a couch that is exactly the size of a human body. He immediately suspects someone might be hiding inside it and decides to open it, but finds nothing. He continues searching the room. Max
It's
now
over.
realizes that his plan might not have worked, and he is close to being found. Eventually, the hunter decides to inspect the table Max is hiding under. Max is one step away from being caught. The hunter immediately starts laughing at how
Dumb.
simple Max's hiding spot is,
This
but the
nigga's so stupid, bro. Yo, he's so stupid, bro. Why he couldn't come up with something way clever than that?
whole reason Max built this room was so that once the hunter saw a production team inside, he would close the door and leave. And here's the mistake Max overlooked. The hunter knew that the real production team always places a do not enter sign in front of their door, and the only reason he opened this door was because there was no sign placed outside. That tiny detail ended Max's chance of winning.
I would have put a
examining
hole
few
under the
more
table
rooms,
and
the
hide
hunter
there.
enters the area with the decorative
Oh my
elements,
God,
the
actually,
room
that
where
would
Jack
cook.
is hiding.
Yo, what the fuck? Yo, oh God, that would cook. They would never
He
do
starts checking the walls, but immediately, something
Wait.
catches his eye. A
Wait,
fireplace
what?
structure sealed with concrete. The moment he sees the entrance sealed with concrete, he instantly thinks someone might be hiding inside. He tries to open it, but he can't get in, so he decides to keep searching the room. The hunter is just one step away from finding Jack, when he suddenly notices another identical fireplace on the other side of the room, but this one is not sealed. It's completely open, so he bends down to look inside and sees that there's actually enough space for a person to fit, and that convinces
concrete
him that in
yo
the
who
first
hides in
fireplace for
concrete.
sure must be
True.
hiding someone inside. Letting himself be fooled by
couldn't
the
do that.
fireplaces, the hunter moves on, deciding he will come back later to inspect the room more carefully. He continues searching the building. 38 minutes remain. The hunter returns to the hallway where Chris is hiding. He starts knocking on the walls again, and suddenly he hears a very distinct hollow sound. He immediately realizes the wall is fake, and he becomes convinced someone is hiding behind it. His eyes fall on the chairs placed in front of the wall, so he kneels down to look more closely and finds the entrance
Are
to
you
Chris's
feeling me?
hiding
This
spot.
person- Yo, this person is cooked. Yo, this dude right here looking for him is a genius. The person that's looking for him is a genius, bro. Cause who would have thought of that?
He gotta
Even
be
though
cheating.
Chris thought the hunter wouldn't be able to fit through the small
ESP.
opening, the hunter manages to squeeze
ESP.
inside, and within seconds, Chris is
Yo.
caught. Chris's mistake was simple
W
but
buck.
fatal. He built the wall out of
Yo.
drywall, and drywall sounds hollow when
W.
you knock on it. If he had built it with bricks or any solid material, the
Y'all
hunter
over
never
here-
would have
y'all over
noticed the
here
hiding
jinxing
spot
each
and would
other?
have walked right past it. But that small mistake cost him the win. There are 4
I
players
wouldn't have
left.
found
The
nobody
hunter keeps
NGL.
searching and enters the
Oh,
room where
God.
Alex is hiding. The cabinet
Sam.
immediately catches his eye, and he
Same.
examines it carefully, but finds nothing suspicious and continues the
Don't you
search.
dare.
Alex
Oh,
was
okay.
inches away from being discovered,
Okay.
but there are still 30 minutes left on the timer.
Okay,
The
I'm
hunter
gonna say that dude right there, that he should never get caught. Like you should not catch him, bro.
decides to restart from the beginning of the building and search everything again. He returns to the room where Jack is hiding, still finding no clues about Tony's or Sam's hiding spots. And once again, he focuses on the sealed fireplace, absolutely convinced someone must be inside it. But the hunter still can't find an entrance to the sealed fireplace, and now he's getting frustrated because he hasn't found anyone new in a long time, and he's running out of time. He has only 20
Yeah,
minutes left to
he
find
has
the remaining
20
4
minutes.
players, and then he decides to do something absolutely insane.
What'd
He
he
walks
do?
into the waiting room where the players he already caught are sitting and makes them a shocking offer. For $5,000, he asks them to tell him where one of the remaining players is hiding, on the condition that the player will never know who betrayed him. Blinded by the money, the captured players accept the offer and decide to reveal Alex's hiding spot. They all walk together toward Alex's room. The hunter pretends he's simply rechecking it for the second time, while Alex sits inside his hiding spot.
They got snitch money. Yo, they snitching. Shit, if you get
No,
money too. Nah,
Bro.
In
what? They
complete
can
fear
Are
and
you serious?
uncertainty, thinking his time is up. But
I
then
would be
the
Moss
hunter
as
has
hell.
a change of heart. He realizes this whole thing
Mad.
is actually terribly unfair and decides to leave Alex alone. Even though he made a deal for $5,000, he thinks betraying a player like that is too dirty, and he refuses to do it. But this
Right.
moment revealed something important. Alex's own teammates were willing to betray him instantly for money.
The hunter continues
Okay.
searching, and while stopping to think about what options he
I ain't
still
gonna lie, let one of my bros, bro, if I don't get, and me and the bros hiding from one person, and we ain't getting no bread, and he offered me 5 bands out of the prize pool, I'm snitching on one of them niggas. I'm gonna give it 100. I'm gonna snitch on one of them. I'm gonna snitch on the one with the worst hiding spot. The worst hiding spot. That's the only one.
We
And
splitting that shit.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm really like something. I'm snitching. I'm getting money.
Him AW friend trust.
has, he suddenly remembers something important. This
Somebody
entire
gonna
building
get it.
was constructed in an old architectural style, so anything newly built would immediately stand out. He heads back toward the entrance of the room, which puts Tony in serious danger of being discovered because the staircase Tony built doesn't match the building's original style at all. When the hunter looks down at the staircase, he notices that the floor is new, and the last 3 staircases are way more dirty compared to the other ones. Tony is seconds away from being found. After checking the floor
it's
more
Ashy
closely,
and
the
robbing
hunter
him
hears
for
a
it
faint
all.
hollow sound. Even though Tony built the staircase using thick marble and added soundproof insulation, it still wasn't enough to hide the difference. The hunter follows the sound and finds Tony's hidden entrance. With only 8 minutes left on the clock, he discovers Tony. Tony's hiding spot was absolutely incredible,
got
but the mistake he
got.
made was that the floor he built didn't match the old steps around it. It stood out immediately, especially after the hunter reminded himself to look specifically for new constructions. With 8 minutes left, the hunter decides to check the entrance one more time, thinking he might have missed something the first time. Sam is seconds away from being discovered, but
What?
suddenly, Tony calls out to the
How do you do that? Wait, what?
ESP.
You're lying.
hunter and distracts him from
There
Sam's
is
hiding
zero
spot
way.
entirely. Time is running out. The hunter already knows where Alex is, but he decides to leave him alone because the first time he checked the cabinet, he found absolutely nothing suspicious.
Gotta be
so he
fake.
runs back again to the room with the golden decorations, 100% convinced that someone must be hiding inside that cursed fireplace.
would've
But the
been-
timer hits 0 and now goes to see where everyone was actually hiding. And that's when he notices the wall that he never even checked. With a gentle push, Jack's hiding spot opens instantly, and the hunter is shocked at how simple it was. Jack's hideout was actually weak, considering that the hunter
Yeah,
had
it
been
was,
knocking on walls
yeah.
the whole episode to check for hollow sounds. He even inspected half of that room's walls, but when he was supposed to check the second half, he got completely distracted by the fireplace in the corner. Now he moves towards Sam's hiding spot and remembers that Tony distracted him earlier. Sam's hiding spot isn't amazing, but once the hunter walks inside the building, there's a very small chance he ever comes back out to inspect
Yeah,
the
bro,
entrance
you
again,
know,
and that
so
saved
three-
him. And now,
Yeah, we all knew what the what's the name was. Like, yo, the door was actually shaky. The entrance one and the one that this dude was in, that was the best one.
it's time for the best hiding spot of the entire episode. The
That is
hunter
the
checks
best
Alex's
one.
hiding place and is astonished to see that Alex built a custom ceiling to completely cover the upper compartment of the cabinet. It was a perfect illusion. You would never imagine there's
You
a
would
top
have never
section.
thought.
Even if you knock on the walls of the cabinet, the sound is exactly the same as a solid wood. There was simply no
Facts.
way to detect him.
If you want this to become a full series, drop a comment below.
Yeah, yo, that's a fire. That, yo, I wish I get rich enough where I could do some board ass shit. Like, yo, this is something that when somebody got money in that board. Like, this is when you got money in your board. I don't use my head, I let the blood